and paper. Gonna do some writing, take some notes. So let's take the next few minutes to grab some materials to get ready. Thank you all again for joining us and waking up this early with us. Talk about money. Hey, Charmaine, we got people out there in the Facebook world? Can't hear you if you're talking.
Yes, we've got one person.
All
Actually,
right.
we have two individuals in Facebook
All
so
right.
far. Yes, we've got one person. Actually, we have two individuals in Facebook. So
So those two people, thank you for being with us this morning. If you didn't hear before, we're going to be talking about money today, our relationship with money, and how we can rekindle that relationship. So you're going to grab some water, pen, and paper so you can be ready for this morning's activities. And we will get started shortly and open up our Zoom space for the rest of the community.
We're open already.
Oh, we're good. All right. In the Zoom space too?
Yes.
Perfect. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning,
Hi.
Shantel.
Hi, Adam. Good morning. Thank you for being here. Let's see, who do we have in the space right now? Good morning, Marie, Tracy. Hey, thank you for joining us, Ariane. So today we are talking about rekindling our relationships with money. And for today, you're gonna need pen, paper, and some water just to keep you grounded, refreshed, sit in a comfortable space, little to no distractions so you can get this information. I am Imbola. I hope I didn't mess that up. Thank you for joining us on Facebook. Awesome. We're going to get started shortly. I also want to invite people to bring into the space if you have any crystals, any sage, if you have Palo Santo, Florida water, any spiritual tools that you want to bring into the space with you this morning to help you be grounded, to help us go through some exercises that we're going to practice so that we can all do it at home ourselves. So if you have any crystals, pyrite, citrine, tiger's eye, anything like that, sage, Palo Santo, I invite you to bring that into the space with us this morning. Good morning, Laura. Good morning, Nija.
Good morning. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Hey, everybody's trickling in. All right, if you're just joining us, we're going to grab some water, pen and paper, and get started shortly.
Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Stay woke. Stay woke. Stay woke. It's time to get up. Stay woke. Stay woke. Stay woke. It's time to get up. We're healing. We're dealing. We're growing together. together, together, releasing. We're teaching, we're moving. Together, together, we're learning, discerning, we're striving. Together, together, we're leading, connecting, transforming. Together, together.
All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for joining us in the space. Thank you, Facebook. We have a few people out there. Hi, Kaisha. Thank you for joining us. Anyone else join us after? Good morning, Teresa. Good morning, Joyce. And I think I got everybody. All right, perfect. So today we are going to talk money. And it's something that can be a bit taboo for some people to talk about. And today we're going to talk about money in the sense of energy. So let's get started. Let's see. All right. So we all have different relationships when it comes to money, whether good, bad, mixy feelings. We're going to get to the root of where those relationships started. And then we're going to work on removing any blockages that we might have so that we can embrace the abundance that's going to come with it. We all have a birthright to have wealth and abundance. So we're going to talk through that a bit. First, I want to go back and introduce myself. My name is Shantel Gamble, also known as Coach Shan, CEO of Braveheart Health Coaching. And today we are going to work on our financial health. There's so many different areas of health that we don't always think about it that way. So your finances, your education, your physical health, all of that stuff ties into your whole being, your whole self. So today we're going to tackle our financial health. All right. So I want you to think, what are some things that you have learned or heard about money from your family and or in your culture as a child? And we can take about 2 minutes to answer these. You can pick one and we'll share out after. So what are some things you've learned or heard about money from your family and or in your culture as a child? How did these experiences shape your relationship with money as an adult? And if you could give your younger self advice around money, what would you say? So let's take 2 minutes to write some responses down to this, and we can have some people share out. So again, what are some things you learned or heard about money from your family as a child? How did these experiences shape your relationship with money as an adult? And if you can give your younger self advice around money, what would you say? So for me, I know a lot of people have heard money doesn't grow on trees. And Shawnee, I'd love for you to share a bit about how money does grow on trees, the conversations that you've had with us and Be the Tree. That's one thing. And then how do these experiences shape your relationship with money? So for me, my father always enforced that I needed to be an independent woman. I shouldn't need a man to help me with my bills. And that also came out of my mother, he and my mother's marriage and relationship. Where he took on most of the bills just because financially he made more at the time and my mother wasn't working because of her sickness. And I think that he allowed the stress of those financial burdens to come down on me as a woman and saying, don't let this be you. And that's something that I carried with me as an adult. And I would tell myself to be kinder to myself in the way that I do handle money in relationships. And I can be a bit aggressive or worried and saying, am I going to get that back? Or what are we doing with that? Are you going to put in on anything? So I took on my father's stress in his relationship and carried that with me as an adult. So that's my example. And is there anyone in the chat, Kinyofu, Charmaine, willing to share, or anyone we can unmute you?
Yeah, Terry is the only one right now who has written. Okay, others are coming in now.
All right.
Terry says, save some for a rainy day. That's
Mhm,
from Terry Ruffin. And Teresa says, work very hard all the time.
mhm. Gotcha.
So maybe Teresa, maybe Terry, you can come and share more on that.
Yes, good morning, everyone.
Dang.
Yes, I would say that coming up, I definitely was taught about money from a scarcity perspective. You
Mhm,
know, as I said, save from a rainy day. Uh, Make sure you pay all your bills. I too was experienced that, wanting my mom wanting me to be very independent of a man when it came to my finances, that I should always have my own. Um, just different things that caused me to be extremely cautious
mhm.
with my money for fear of not having enough.
And would you say that came from watching your family or from just what you heard? And did you take those things on yourself?
I would say that it was part of the culture that I grew up with. Um, Definitely in my household, because often we struggled when it did come to money, and also in the general community. You know, it was one of, you need to put it away. You need either that, or you were hearing money was the root of all evil.
Right. Yes. Awesome. Thank you so much, Terry. And what I'm hearing is, like I said in my share, is, people put their experiences with money onto us and they pour those into us as children. And we continue with that mindset as we get older, or as a culture, whatever you're thinking, right? Just like people who do have money, they're not telling their kids money, they might not be saying money doesn't grow on trees, or they're operating from a scarcity mindset, right? So it depends on your home life, it depends on your culture, the experiences of those who are bringing you up and what they're pouring into you. And I want us to think about, what are some things that you subscribe to that no longer serve you, whether it's like Netflix, you get these junk mails coming in. And Dion, we spoke about that with her, and just cleaning out our emails, and spring cleaning can be with our finances as well, right? So the same way that we subscribe to things that no longer serve us, whether it's our mailbox, emails, all of that stuff, we're paying for it every month and we're not using it, but we're pouring into it. We are subscribing to these thoughts that were poured into us as children or over the course of our lives that no longer serve us. Money in abundance is a birthright of ours, and there's no reason that we can't claim it for our own and change our mindset, no matter how young or how old we are. So now we're going to look at the ways that we can shift those mindsets so that we can now welcome the abundance that is ours. And I'll share some more. What we have here, Kinyofu. So from money does not grow on trees, I'm not made of money. Yes. What else do we have from Facebook here? Kaisha, always have a secret account so you don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. Yes. And a lot of these things we've all heard from our Black and brown communities, and our ancestors, our grandparents, our aunts and uncles, right? So we have a lot of these things in common. All right, come on. So like I said, a lot of our energy and money is energy, right? We talk about it in the woo community, my own natural energy yield. And that is exactly what it is. So what you put out, you get back. What you put out, you request to get back, right? So our time, what we're putting in, our gifts make room for us. So we're using this energy to get this reciprocity back. So we went over the energy in our younger self. These are things that people have poured into us, but we learned as children, what we take with us as adults in our mindsets. Generational, meaning that, what is your family's relationship with money? How has that looked over the course of years? Did your grandparents have issues with money or trouble making money, or did they not? Did you come from a wealthy family where they used, maybe they were in certain areas and businesses, and when they could, build it from the ground up, and they had these resources, so the conversation looked and sounded different from you. And there are still ways to generationally unbind yourself from these thoughts. And also there's karmic. So karma comes in many forms, and karma can come back in your funds, can come back in your money, and a lot of people don't know that. So when people say karma is going to come back to you, it can come back in your bank account, lack of funds, scarcity, right? So it's energy, and that all works the same way. So I want you to remember those things. My younger self, what did I learn growing up generationally? What has my family's experience with money look like? And what does that look like for me moving forward, right? Just the way we say generational wealth, there could have been this generational depletion of money that just was not there. And it doesn't mean that we can't turn that around. And the karmic energy of money, making sure that you are treating others the way you want to be treated. You're out here, not acting crazy, not messing with other people's money and stuff like that, because things do come back to you in that way as well. So I want to pause here and see if there's any questions about the younger self, generational or karmic energy that comes with money.
Okay, so I'm going to go back because there was some comments. I'm just looking for it now. So you want me to find what the experience, repeat what it is you're looking for, and I'm pulling out some stuff from the chats.
Oh,
Or
just
do you
to
want
see
me
if there are any questions about these three forms of energy and money. And if there's anything that stands out in the chat, we could bring that out.
Okay, got it.
Mhm.
Well, I'm not seeing any questions, but I do see the responses to the questions you answered before. So I think I'm going to read what's here.
Great.
Now, did you read Wendy's comment?
No.
All right. Wendy says, money is scarce. You have to constantly work for it. Don't spend too much on things. Try to do stuff yourself instead of paying for services. Teresa said, never spoke how to use money wisely. And Charmaine says, always have a secret account and don't let your left hand know. Yes, I think I read that.
Yes.
So Jacqueline says, I still live with people who come from the scarcity mindset, and like Terry, my mother taught me to be completely independent when it comes to money, so I keep my money separate. I think I heard this before. Did you read this? Sorry.
No, I think some of them are just repeating. So that's what we were saying, that a lot of these mindsets are just what we've all heard growing up from our family members, from our in our culture. So like I said, we're just gonna work on changing these mindsets and shifting ourselves. So let's have fun with it. We don't have to live in these mindsets. We're gonna learn how to turn it over. Even with our words, we're not gonna use words like debt today. We're gonna talk about financial freedom. We're going to go from low vibrational thoughts that we heard growing up and the words that we use today, just out of the norm and things that, we've been saying all of our lives. I'm in debt. I got to get out of debt. But when you say I want to work towards my financial freedom, this liberation, those words of higher vibration, that brings in more abundance. That makes you feel like you are working towards this freedom rather than being bogged down by the debt that you have to pay off. So we'll be mindful of those things and see what else we can take from here. All right. So we're going to do a little bit of practicing. Like I said, you're going to grab your pen and your paper, and we're going to look at some steps that we could take to shift our mindsets and practices so we can all get this shmoney. Like I said, we all have the birthright to getting our shmoney, to working towards financial freedom. So let's take a look at that. All right, so I love to do something called reverse brainstorming. If you can't think about the answers that you want or the goals that you want to set for yourself moving forward in any area of your life, I always like to work backwards. Most of the time we can think of the negative before we can think of the positive. So it's going to feel a little funny, but I want you to think of ways to brainstorm the reverse of our financial and our energetic goals in order for us to secure the bag. In order for us to secure the bag, we have to know what goes into it first. And that is the faith that we're going to have behind it, our practices that we're going to put behind it, which we're going to learn today. And we also have to have those goals. What are we working towards? So pull out your pen, your pad, and I want you to take 2 minutes to think about ways that you can make your finances worse. And as uncomfortable or as silly as that might feel, it will help us work backwards to find the goals that we're going to work towards. So for example, instead of thinking, how can I improve my finances? Think the reverse of that. I can continue to live above my means, and I can continue to believe that I will always be in debt. So use that as an example to get you started on 1 or 2 ways that you can make your finances worse. So it'll take 2 minutes to do this. Again, an example is I can continue to live above my means, and I can continue to believe that I will always be in debt. And we could drop those in the chat and see what you all are thinking. Oh, good, Xavier. Yes, so those spam calls, or what we call spam calls, but they're really the financial institutions that you owe money to calling you, not blocking those anymore, right? Awesome. We all get those calls. What else? Or not refreshing your financial standards. Awesome. Overspend by buying things I do not need, adding more debt. Yes, accumulating that debt. What are some other ways we can make our finances worse? Indulge in impulse buying, never making a budget. Awesome. Hey, Ash, I can make another large purchase that I really don't need to make this year. Why not? Right? It feels good. Right? Living beyond your means, negative self-talk. Awesome. Let's get about 3 or 4 more. I know we can all make our finances worse in some way, shape, or form, or we have experiences doing that. How have you made your finances worse? I can begin to take out loans for cash or to furnish my home. Yes. Continue using credit cards. Yes. The utilization of our credit cards. Not tuning into conversations on financial management, not including financial health and daily routine. Awesome. Continue to depend on one income. Yeah, we'll talk about that too. Not investing. Trying to keep up with the Joneses and cash advances. Prioritizing retail therapy. Yeah. Therapy is therapy until you dig a deeper hole for yourself with that, right? But we got Deborah from Facebook. To make it work, I can continue to be afraid of taking responsibility of my future, being impatient, having too many credit cards. Yes. Awesome. Hanging with negative people while having money. Awesome. Awesome. All right. Thank you, everybody. Self-sabotaging. Great. So we know how to make them worse, right? That's not a problem. Some of us have already, myself included, have already started making things worse financially. We know right from wrong. Sometimes you're in certain situations and under certain circumstances that cause you to have to use that extra credit card, that cause you to have to take out another loan, right? What we want to do is come to a point where we have gained financial freedom, where we do not have to turn to those things anymore, and we can continue to build from what we have. All right. So once you have your list, your negative list, I want you to flip each idea and turn it into a positive. So now we're going to throw that into the chat. All of this amazing juiciness we've thrown in here about how we can make it worse. Use that as a foundation to flip it and set your goals. Let's see, giving unselfish places, spending more than you earn, being ignorant to the language of money. Great. Denise said, I can spend on things I don't need. I cannot save. I can continue to pay credit cards with high interest. I can put my head in the sand like everything is okay. I can be fearful of not saving. So let's take these things that we wrote and flip them. So I can be fearful of not saving. Denise, do you mind coming off mute and sharing how you could flip some of these awesome responses that you have here that a lot of us can relate to as well?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Which ones am I doing now?
And let's pick any of the ones that you have here. You have about what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's flip all 5 if you want to.
Okay, so one of the things I said about high interest rates with credit cards, what I could do is negotiate lower interest rates with credit cards, not spend those that have high interest rate and cut them up.
Mhm.
The fear about not saving, to go ahead and start investing and saving.
Mhm.
If I'm fearful, I don't trust the banks. I don't trust my money not being with me.
Mhm.
I'm going to just keep it in my little closet.
Mhm.
Being able to start investing.
Yeah.
I got some of the other things that I said. Let me look at what I said.
I'm glad you said that because you don't gain interest by putting your money in the freezer or under the mattress, right? So you
Exactly.
have to put it somewhere where it can get interest. Great. You said you
Like
can spend money on, huh?
I can put my head in the sand. Sometimes we don't realize that we're in debt and don't do anything, and that
Mhm.
we're really drowning.
Yes.
And we keep on saying, it's okay, it's okay, I'm gonna keep on doing that. That happened to me at one point where I was really sort of drowning.
Mhm.
And putting my head in the sand, I extended the troubles for an additional year versus doing
Mhm.
something so I was worse.
Right.
So, and realized and regretted that you could have had all these problems solved
Mhm.
over a year ago, but
Mhm.
you continued to block it and figured that you was going to be able to manage it on your own, and not be drastic in what you had to do.
And what
So
did you do?
what did I do? Is I filed for bankruptcy.
Gotcha. Okay. Right. So that kind of just accumulated and made things worse by
Exactly.
just sticking your head in the sand, right? And so a lot of this comes from the fear that you've had to take the leap of saving your money, taking the leap and finding different ways to negotiating your interest rates and maybe cutting down on some of those cards, right?
Correct.
I want to go back to the first part we said here. What financial advice, what would you say to your younger self about money in general or that experience? And younger self could be yesterday, right? What would you say?
Don't let money rule you, rule it.
Mhm.
Don't be fearful of what you need to do. Money is a tool. Use it wisely. Spend it wisely. Invest and save in it wisely. Enjoy it as well wisely.
Mhm.
I came from a mother that always, and my maternal grandmother, they invested, they spent, she wasn't have savings, but she also invested, because I'm not talking about just having the savings in the checking account. She had investments.
Mhm.
She wanted to purchase land, and but I came from a father that was like, can you open your hand up? He clenched it.
Right.
He clenched it. Is clench a word? I don't know if clench is a
He's
word.
clenching his
He
hands of it.
thank you, that's the word. I was like,
Yeah, it's tight
"That's
with
really-
it.
yeah, like he wouldn't open his hand up at all, and you were always fearful, always have your own, always have for a rainy day. You had all those cliches, but sometimes you can just go crazy. And after a while, I was always great. And then all of a sudden, I was like, let me spend here, let me spend there, let me do this. I definitely would tell people, do not let credit cards is not cash. Do
Absolutely.
not use credit cards as if you're rich and you got money because you got a lot of credit cards.
Mhm.
Definitely credit cards, and particularly for Black and brown people, they will use that oftentimes, I find, as this is cash. No, what you can't purchase, what you can't pay for right away, be mindful of that. I would not use credit cards as if we have cash. Also be mindful of emergencies, having an emergency fund,
Mhm. I
because
want you, one
but
second, Denise, I want you to speak from yourself. I want you to say, I can start using an emergency fund, or I can create an emergency fund. Remember, we're switching up our language and our mindset. So let's start with that.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
can have an emergency fund.
Mhm.
I can not use credit cards as cash.
Mhm.
I can help those around me and in my circle not to.
Awesome.
I say that because we tend to sort of group and do things together.
Mhm.
And so I also want to change the mindset of those that are in my circle.
Beautiful.
Because oftentimes I assist those in my circle, and I assist sometimes and enable because they may have had their ways of spending money, and I would get them out of trouble.
Awesome. Thank you.
I'm complete.
Thank you, Denise. Appreciate you sharing that in the
Thank
space
you.
with us. Anyone else want to share how they would flip what they have? Okay, we have Teresa. Your hand is raised. Can you come off mute?
Well, one of the things that I would like to say is to giving into places that are healing for you, because sometimes you're giving into places that are not healing. And so that gets you into that, like giving to people that you really should not be giving into because you're so connected to them that you don't know the difference. So I'm going to stop. So that's what I stopped doing a lot, is to stop giving to people
You
that,
mean
wasn't healing.
like family members or friends who
Yeah,
just
yeah, all of that. Even in like like I was given to a church at one time and I stopped doing it because
Mhm.
and maybe I shouldn't have, but I feel like since I stopped and I started like I give to Woo. One of my things that way I feel I'm getting blessed too is by giving to like to the facilitators, stuff like that, because
Absolutely.
I feel like they're giving me stuff that's bringing healing to my life. So
Mhm.
that's one of the things that I do. And not seeing my I am financial freedom is
Mhm.
my lot, is what's allotted for me.
Exactly.
And I'm seeking financial advice. I think because we don't seek financial advice, that's a problem for us, because we don't know what to do with money. And I value money, and I didn't value money before, because that was something that was not taught to me. My parents did
Yeah.
not teach me to value money. They just, and my father, he worked very, very hard. He worked so hard until he almost like where he couldn't walk.
Mhm.
So that was like a negative view to see someone working so hard and then he could not even walk, because he
Yeah.
worked so hard.
Work his fingers down to the bone, literally, right?
Exactly.
And those are things
Literally,
that
yeah.
we've seen
Yeah, so
growing up.
yeah, you've seen that with a lot of people. And not only that, it's like they work so much sometimes that they wasn't even home with the kids. Yes, they provided money, but
Mhm.
I would have loved to have my dad, home with me
Yes.
instead of being out, working so hard all the time. But that's because they didn't know it was another way like we know now.
Mhm.
That's different. So, that's what I'm looking for to, and thank you. It's like normally I lay down and watch listen to this. I was like, no, you're sitting up because you're not falling back to sleep or nothing. You gotta sit your tail up
Yes.
and get the thing because you need some money,
Yes.
as what you say. So thank you so much.
You're welcome, and thank you for sharing. And I think a lot of us can relate to that, seeing our grandparents and our parents take on 2 to 3 jobs, not being able to be with us as children because they were providing. But like you said, they didn't know. And if you don't know, you can't change those things. And us being here today, getting this information, contributing to the conversation, this allows us to exchange this information that we do know of to help each other as a community. And things happened in the past where we've come together as people to make this happen, right? It's, for example, Susu's. I'm doing one right now that I took the leap to do that. And I've always wanted to, didn't think anybody was going to want to do it with me. And then people trusted me and trusted the process. And so now we're here collecting funds and circulating this money between the 10 of us, people of color who are helping each other save money. So there are things that they've done in the past that we traditionally continue to carry with us today that forms this abundance and money and letting us know that there are other ways out there to do so. So today with you being here, being present is another way to get this information, to learn and implement it into your own lives. So great. Anyone else?
I'd like to share.
Yes.
Good morning.
Morning.
one way that, or maybe I'll say multiple ways that I want to implement into my like practice when it comes to money is, well, the first way was I noticed that I wasn't sticking to my budget.
Mm-hmm.
And at first I was like, oh, I'm just not disciplined enough. I have this budget, but I'm not, like, for instance, the entertainment part of my budget would like always go over,
Mm-hmm.
or like miscellaneous things would always go over. Like I would always go over the budget that I set for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, okay, I need to recalibrate this budget because obviously I'm not able to stick to this budget. It's actually not, it's making me unhappy. If I really stuck to this budget, I would be unhappy.
Right.
Right. And I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
work. I don't want to go to work hard and not,
Enjoy it.
play. Right.
Mhm.
Exactly. So right now what I'm noticing, because it's summertime and the entertainment budget is just getting much
We're
more
outside
larger.
again. We're outside again.
Right.
Last year we saved money on the quarantine.
Exactly. What, all quarantine? I was like,
Yes.
oh, I have money in the bank.
Yes.
Um,
I
but
feel you.
now I'm like, oh my God, Uber is losing its mind.
Yes.
So transportation is crazy. Like the part of my budget that's for transportation is insane.
Mhm.
Like when I actually look at how much money I'm actually, like when I look at the money that I'm spending, like after the month is over, right?
Mhm.
And I know I didn't follow my budget. I know I wasn't disciplined. Like I know, and I look and see and actually calculate. Transportation took a large chunk, and entertainment took a large chunk, where I
Mhm.
wasn't really saving much that month.
Yeah.
And so my plan is to recalibrate my budget and find ways to still be able to enjoy myself on a budget, but
Yeah.
not create my budget so low for entertainment where I know I'm not going to be able to stick to it because it's going to make me unhappy.
Mhm. Yes, exactly. And you need that reward, that
Yeah.
reciprocity. Absolutely. And then also, Angela, you do so many other things. For me, if I need an extra $100 to play, I'm like, okay, that sounds like a cord cutting session right there. That sounds like a private consultation right there, right? Using your gifts for that extra source of income so that you can play. You have your full time, then you have your play money, things that you can use to supplement what what you have in your budget. Because like you said, it makes you dread going to work. What is it all for if I can't play as well after work and enjoy life? Because it's not just working. What our parents, grandparents might have instilled in us. My grandmother, it's just like work, work, work. What do you mean you're going traveling? You could save that money for something else. And it's like, but I would love to enjoy life too, because you only get one. And so these old ways of thinking, you have to find different ways to manipulate and play around with it so that you can get this quality of life as well. It's not just paying your bills, going to work and doing it all over again. Right?
Yeah.
So what are some things that you could put in place with your math business, the children that you work with? What are some other things you could use to supplement that and have some more play money?
Oh my God. To be honest, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm better at budgeting myself than I am the business. Like,
gotcha.
And I think I know what's happening is a lot of the money that I make from the business goes right back into the business. Like I'm not really paying myself much.
Right.
Like I will, yeah, that's really what's happening. It's like I'm not really paying myself much. And like especially for math through art, jewelry, what I make jewelry, right? And jewelry is different, right? It's like the budget is already made for it. Immediately when I buy the materials and I create the materials, I've already put into the formula how much money I'm paying myself. So as soon as I sell a piece of jewelry, it's already paying for it. I don't know if that makes sense.
Gotcha.
Like when I sell a piece of jewelry, yeah, it's like I make it back immediately because I already, like I can sell my jewelry wholesale, which then I really wouldn't be paying myself really. I mean, I still would be, but I wouldn't be having anything extra, right? But I'm not. I'm selling my jewelry because I can't sell it wholesale, so I'm selling it, as at its market price, right?
Gotcha.
And because I'm doing that, that excess amount, like, you know, whatever the difference is from how much it would be if it was I don't know how I'm getting into this, but if it was a wholesale, if it was a wholesale price, right? The
Yes.
difference between wholesale and then market value, whatever that difference is pretty much the money that I take home.
Okay.
So the wholesale cost goes right back into making more jewelry,
Mm-hmm.
like buying more material to make more jewelry. So jewelry actually gives me extra money gives me extra like play money and like entertainment money.
Mm-hmm.
But math through art doesn't, because it's so like marketing is so costly
Mm-hmm.
with that. Like I do a lot of pay per clicks.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's more expensive. Like I pay for a lot of like fees and stuff like that for the online, like my website and like online programs that I'm using. I have to pay for those subscriptions every month.
Mm-hmm.
And so it usually pretty much it's just paying itself.
Right.
There is excess, but it's not like a consistent it's like monthly. It's a monthly excess. It's not like jewelry. Jewelry, if I go out and I could sell 5 pieces of jewelry today, that's excess today. I could make excess today. Whereas it, you know, with the tutoring business, it's not like that.
So what's blocking you in the tutoring business from making the excess the way you do with your jewelry?
I think what's blocking me is malmanagement. I need to find smarter ways to budget when it comes to marketing.
What are some of those ways? Let's pause there. What are some of those ways?
Okay, so I'll tell you
your thought partner.
This is great. One of the ways that I'm marketing math through art is I'll buy these materials and I'll go sit at a park or somewhere where there's a lot of kids, and I will like give out things like bubbles or origami fixtures, and I'll attach my card to them, and that's the way that I, you know, interact with parents, finding parents, or you know, that type of thing. I find ways to attract kids, so I pay for the materials, so that's already, you know, that goes into the marketing budget, and then I have to pay for my time, and I have to pay for transportation, right? So that's one way that I'm like choosing marketing, because I noticed in the past that hand-to-hand marketing or like foot-to-foot marketing with tutoring is the most effective. Like people want to know you personally. They want to fill you out personally to know if you're actually a good fit for them, versus like finding me online. You know, I'm not like a big time corporation like Mathnasium or Kaplan, where people just trust the brand.
Well, why not? Why can't you dream big and think of that? Like, I am as big as this. And if you walk in that, right, doesn't mean you have the resources, the same resources as them. But if you're thinking bigger, you'll start operating bigger, right? Maybe doing some more tablings, sending flyers through word of mouth, some testimonies from your families that you have worked with and putting that on your website. Maybe some referral perks that they do refer people to you, things like that, to expand the audience without you even having to pay for it, right? You're leaning on the people who you've already worked with to sell this for you.
I like the referral tip, like having other families refer me, because in the past I would just ask, but I have to, if I give an incentive, I may get a better result.
Yes, absolutely. So I do recruitment for a charter school, and we give our parents $25 gift cards if you refer a student. Now, per pupil, you get back $15,000 for a student. All I did was invest $25 in one parent, right? And so the return is bigger. So think about what your return would be if you got more students off of that one referral, right? Or if you were saying, send this flyer, send this out to people, you're doing a tabling at these events where there are families and kids, usually that's usually about $75, $100 to table somewhere. But if you get 20 new families, that $20 is already done its own work. You flipped it. You know, instead of saying, okay, maybe today I'll get 5 kids in this park. Go somewhere where you know there will be families. This is your audience, your demographics, and what you will get your return on for investing that $100 for that one tabling. Yes, you'll put money up front for maybe a tablecloth, some materials, some swag on the table, brochures, but it all comes back to you. So just working smarter, not harder, to find your demographic itself.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Awesome. And Andrea, we could talk offline too. There's so many things you can do. And I know you really love the math business. I know you love both, but there's no reason why you can't have 3 streams of income with your full-time job and the two things that you enjoy doing in order to have your play money to do some more things that you enjoy doing, because that's what life is about. All right, your gifts will make room
Yes.
for you. Okay.
Yes. Okay. I'm gonna reach out to you.
Yes, of course. And Shawnee, I think you wanted to ask Angela a question as well. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's posed to Angela, but it's really for everyone. So one of the conversations that I've been in for the last several weeks is the conversation about invitation. So Angela, I heard you say how you work by or strategize by tapping into the children. So the bubbles, the origami, those sorts of things. And I'm really curious about where you are conversationally with adults, where you're at in reference to invitation. Because, I've been training the facilitators around this, that when we facilitate, like the core ingredient for facilitation is invitation. Shantel has asked us questions. She's provided us with insight. She's invited us to look at what doesn't work about our relationship with money. And so I really am curious about where you are with actually having live conversations with adults where invitation is present and fear is absent. That's what I'm picking up, that there's a strategy that involves working with those who are less intimidating or frightening to you. And so if you would come back on and just share about that, I'd love to hear it.
Okay. So initially, like when I was doing workshops, like in person, I was much more adamant with communicating with parents. I would map out the schools that was in the area, which was at that time it was downtown Brooklyn. And I would map out all the schools that was in downtown Brooklyn, private and public. And I would go to each school each day with a certain number of flyers. And I would stand out in front of the school and I would wait for parents to come out, and I would just walk up to parents and hand them flyers and speak to them. It was much more comfortable for me because the flyers that I was handing out was just advertising the workshop. Like, this Saturday, I'm having a workshop here, we'll be doing this and this. I noticed that when it comes to private tutoring, parents are much more adamant about results than they are when it comes to something like a workshop. Plus, workshops are cheaper. They're less of a commitment. And I think that's where the fear that you're probably picking up on is, for me, it's the fear that I may not give each parent the results that they're looking for. And so, like in the parks, when I see the children, the way I do it is like I immediately attract the children. So the children want to come to my table, so that attracts the parent because they want to know where their child is going, what their child wants, is attracted to. And so, and that gives me an open to start to speak to them about what it is that I do beyond just, folding paper in a park or painting, in a park. Usually if I would say that how that return, I don't think I have a great return rate when I'm sitting in the park and I'm speaking to parents about private tutoring.
Let me jump in if you don't mind. So what I heard, and to me it's strategy, and it's almost gimmicky too. It's like I have the bubbles, I can get to the children. I have the flyer, and so I can hand the flyer and then have them come to a workshop. What I'm talking about is conversation. That is not about strategy. It's about what you offer to the world, which if we can hear it, that would be great. And then I'm going to step back and let Shantel have this back. It would be great to be able to hear what your commitment is to the world, right? And then in each conversation that can get manifested. Because one of the things, and I was saying this when I was training the Be the Tree team yesterday around manifesting folks for the next cohort, is that when we come with strategy, when we come at it with gimmick, when we come at it with, to me, it's inauthentic. Like, I can sell you a widget, but my purpose is to utilize my words to manifest or to ignite mind, body, and spirit transformation. So this pen is not going to manifest that. Who I'm being around what I'm purposed to do in the world can. So the flyer can't be the buffer between me and Shantel. The flyer is a support piece, a supplemental piece. In the vibration of what I'm bringing to the world, is is the energy that can manifest somebody saying, yes, I want my child to be a part of this because of who she's being around this working community. So what is your commitment? That is not the money that Shantel, like securing the bag is the outgrowth of you being your purpose. It is not the focus. Am I being clear?
Yes, my purpose is to ignite creation and innovation in students who believe that, or who had the idea that they couldn't understand a language like math. Like that's really the intention behind the company, is to allow students to have a platform where they can use other tools, other creative tools, so that they can better comprehend math, where in the past it may have given them anxiety.
Got it. And what's in it? What's in it? What's the manifestation of benefit or transformation for the parent as a result of you offering that to their children?
For the parent, it gives the parent an opportunity to first put their children in a space where they don't have to like watch them. And
What's the
secondly,
wait. What's the benefit of that?
they can have time by themselves.
Okay.
Yeah.
Freedom.
Yeah, freedom. Yeah. They usually drop the kids off. They're with me for like an hour to 15 minutes or an hour to 30 minutes. And then the parents come back and pick up the kids.
Right. So I get that when you speak about the tutoring, it's like, oh, your child is going to be, and this is powerful. It's definitely powerful. And I'm imagining you work with Black and brown children. So that's beautiful, because there's a myth around our children not being able to process math and science and all that other stuff. And that's an absolute lie, right? So the other piece is, if you broached it, like, I know you're going to be working with their children, but if you spoke about freedom for the parent as an igniter, what's two more things that a parent can get as a result of you working with their children?
A parent can also receive like being proud of their child, to see their child grow and prosper in a subject that in the past they may not have had confidence in.
Got it. So pride, relief, maybe there's worry, right? What's one more thing?
Parents can also get an opportunity to learn also. They can
That's
learn
it.
how that they can learn how they can better support their children in a subject like math.
Got that. Got that. So, what I'm offering up is, it's all in conversation, right? It's all in invitation, and it's all in your belief in your ability to manifest beyond the paper, beyond the bubbles, beyond the origami, beyond the strategy that I got to get to you through your kid. If your child comes over, then I can get a doorway into you. That's a story, right? And I'm not saying it doesn't work, but I'm just saying how you are being with the adults, and when you're being your purpose, can manifest the shmoney that Shantel is talking about. But that's not the end result that you're looking for. I know you want to make money and you want to manifest, but really it's about you being contribution to the world and being able to have children that have confidence, that can bring science, math, in many different ways to the world, so that the world can be expanded. It's so much bigger than sitting with one child one-on-one and helping them get clear. So I just wanted to offer that up. And this is for everybody. Sometimes where we fall short in reference to manifesting money is that we're not clear in our own throat chakra, being able to negotiate, being able to say what we're worth, being able to talk in a way that is not about trying to convince or fix anything with anybody, but just about being with people inside of what you're called to do on the planet and what you're offering to people to make their lives better. So I just wanted to offer that up. And thank you, Shantel, for the time.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for adding to the conversation. Thank you, Angela. Hope you got all of that. Take your notes and everything. Definitely more relatable, that second outcome, right? Where it's like, past the bubbles, past the gimmicks. Like, I can relate to you as a parent, and I feel safe with you. I'm understanding what you're saying. I believe in your passion and your mission. That makes you more inclined to want to sign up and work with you, or have my child work with you, right? If you can articulate what your mission is and what it is my child is going to get out of working with you, then that makes me want to, entertain this idea more and find out more from you.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. I think we had some questions in the chat. Real quick, I'll do the Susu explanation. So there are a lot of people who've been burned by the Susu boards, which are not it's not the original Susu concept, where you are as a community, you are shifting the savings of money. So for example, the one that I just started, there are 10 of us and everyone puts in $100 a week. And whoever gets the pot for that week, you get $900 from those 9 other people, and your $100 makes 1,000. You only get out what you put into this particular Susu. It's not like the boards where you have to bring in 2 more people and it's like the pyramid thing going on. It's not that at all. So everyone will get their $1,000. And this really goes with trust and community. If you know people who you can trust, who will not leave the Susu once it is done, people who will contribute their $100 every week. And also, it's not your regular savings. You feel more inclined because you belong to a group to contribute your $100. Whereas if it's $100 and you're like, I'd rather go out, like Angela said, I'd rather take this $100 and go out tonight because it's summertime and we've been locked up forever. But if you know you have to contribute this $100, you have a contribution, you have this participation that you're a part of this community, you're like, you know what, I know this $100 goes here. And that way at the end, you then get your $1,000 as well. So if you do it in the beginning, I know some people said it feels like a bill, but the fun part for me is that there's no interest, right? Either way. So you're not getting interest if you're saving, but you're not getting interest as well as it being a loan. So if you get it, if you're the first person, you continue to pay $100 out until the end, but you got that $1,000 up front to pay a bill. You got that $1,000 up front to start your business. Angela, you got that $1,000 up front to buy your swag or whatever materials you need for your business. And slowly you pay back that $100 to your group, but you got the money up front, no interest from a credit card company, and you started whatever project you wanted to work on. So that's how your Susu should be going if you're doing it correctly. So I just wanted to answer that. And that's something traditionally we've been doing in my family. My grandparents did it, and I never knew why my aunts and uncles had a different name on the calendar throughout the week. And it's because everybody got a different pot. And that helped them put people through school, helped us with just finances as a family in general, coming together as a community to make this savings. It's an informal savings club with people that you trust. So I hope I clarified that with some people who had that question. I'm just trying to look at the chat. Awesome. Okay, so let's get back to where we were. And so, Angela, I'm glad that you came off and spoke as well, because I know somebody had questions about this lady in a bikini. This is Tracy Ross. So this is also just words of affirmations, right? Just changing our mindsets. I honor my purpose. Wealth is attracted to me. Abundance is my birthright. My body is healthy. My mind is brilliant. I welcome positive and uplifting energy into my life. So the same way we have affirmations for our well-being, our lives, we can honor that with our wealth, our abundance, and the things that we want to attract to us. So when we spoke about our list and flipping it, we said, I can continue to live above my means. I can continue to believe that I will always be in debt. The flip side of that could be, I am responsible with how I manage my finances, and I do it with ease. It is safe for me to experience financial freedom. So the difference in the language here is very high vibrational compared to what we started with, right? I'm living above my means. I'm continuing to dig a deeper hole for myself and going into debt. But now you're saying it's okay. It's safe for me to experience financial freedom. Why can't I? Who said that I didn't have the right to get there? You know, it's just a means of me getting there. What is my vessel? What am I putting into my bag in order to secure it? And the first thing could be your language and your mindset. Now you are attracting these things that you're saying you want to, you're using your words. Words are out in the universe now. I'm attracting financial freedom as opposed to I'm bogged down by this financial debt. So are there any questions there? We good with the language part of it and how we flipped it? Were people able to flip their prompts into something else that would help them in a high vibrational sense?
Shantel, before you move on, I just wanted to remind you that it's 7:58.
Oh, thank you.
Sure, I did put your contact information in the chat.
Gotcha. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us as long as you have been. If you can stay on for about another 15-20 minutes, I'd appreciate it. And if not, thank you for waking up with us and getting the part of the conversation that you did get. If you have any questions, my contact information is in the chat. I love to chat with you on the side. Some of you have already hit me up asking to talk on the side. We could definitely do that. We're also going to go into a bit of practicing of how we can start attracting more money in securing our bag. And this will also be available on Facebook if you need the playback. I don't want you all to miss that as well. Thank you, Kinyofu. All right. So like I said, words matter. And these are some ways that we can shift our mindset. So I want you all to come off mute. This is something that we do with Woo when we do our core values. But I want you to pick a number and or just say a few of these prompts and say it out loud to yourself that, you know, ways that we could change our mindset around money. So I'll get us started and just start trickling in and let's all just say it together. I forgive myself for my past mistakes with money.
For my past mistakes.
I attract all opportunities.
I forgive myself for my past
It
mistakes.
is safe for me to be wealthy.
It is time for me to be wealthy.
Enough
Forgive
money
myself for
for me to experience financial freedom.
without
My finances to responsibility without
look at my
I
finances.
have more than enough resources.
Anyway,
My
believe any income
financial abundance
I attract all
worthy of positive
more of myself for my past mistakes. I have more money.
I have
I have more money than
more than enough
more than enough. I have all of my
financial abundance.
I allow
Allow
abundance.
financial
I am
life.
worthy of
Forgive myself
finances with
for my past mistakes. I live my finances without fear. Wealth comes to me easily.
I release karmic vibrational limitations. I look at my finances without
and wealth plays
I attract all opportunities with joy.
responsibly and without fear. It is safe for me to experience financial freedom. I
Safe
attract
for me to
all
experience
opportunities that bring me joy and prosperity.
and manage my finances responsibly
Money
and with
comes to me easily.
I am wealthy in many ways.
now have zero balance
I look at my
and my credit card.
I am wealthy
I do have
Ooh, this is
and not
powerful.
Money comes to me
money
easily.
comes.
Sure does.
Yes, yes,
Awesome,
yes,
beautiful,
yes,
I
beautiful.
affirm that money comes
yes.
to me easily.
How did that feel?
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
Powerful.
Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you all in joining in that with me. It was beautiful to hear it all come. Okay, great. So let's move on. And we could use these affirmations. If you need to take a screenshot or anything, please do so. You can use this after this as you are doing your affirmations. I'm going to show you an example in the next slide of how I use some of these to just speak to myself on a regular basis and how I do so from the first, second, and third person, just so your mind can start to believe it and you start to attract these things. All right. So let's see. So I'm going to show you some of the things that I started doing, rituals that I did for myself. This started about 2 years ago. I had just lost my job and I didn't know what I was going to do. I had unemployment. My family was very helpful, but I needed more. I needed a new job. I had a certain way of living that I was used to, and I wanted more. So when there was nothing else, all I had was my gifts, and I didn't know what it meant for your gifts to make room for you. And it was like, you know what, you keep talking about this coaching business that you want to do. Why don't you do something about it? And so I had workshops that I did in Starbucks. I found a free community space in Starbucks and started hosting these workshops, which brought in more money to me. I then applied for a new job and I got a higher paying job. And then I started working with Shawnee. So then I had 3 sources of income. I went from nothing to 3 sources of income. And that happened because I started telling myself that I had the right to get this income. I had the right to be happy. I had the right for this abundance. So I wanted to share some of the ways that I did that with you all so that you can all walk into your birthright of this abundance as well. So like I said before, if you have some of your tools with you or around you, we can practice together. You can ask questions or you can try to do this on your own. So I like to cleanse my space whenever I'm doing any type of spiritual work. So I have the spray of the Palo Santo on the stage. But I also have the actual sage itself and the Palo Santo. So you want to clear your space with the two of these. I like to say that the sage is like a spiritual bleach. It'll take out all of the energy, all of the negative energy, and you want to replace it with some Palo Santo, which is going to bring back that positive energy that you're going to need. Another thing is expressing gratitude. Expressing gratitude for the little things. If you found a penny on the floor, I like to say, like, if you get a free latte, and that happened to me, I got 2 free drinks at Starbucks. Anyone who knows me knows I love Starbucks. Whenever those mix-ups happen, I'm grateful. And that's a form of abundance. That's a form of the universe letting me know I hear you, I see you. This is a little bit extra, a little bit of extra on top. There have been times when I had like a little bit more in my paycheck because of the shifts and like the deductions and all that stuff. Grateful. You have to show gratitude for all the little signs that God is sharing with you. And this is a way for God to know that you are a good steward for more. You can't pray and pray for more increase when you can't show him what you're working with right in front of you, right? So if you could show that you are responsible for what has been placed in front of you, those things continue to pour into you as well. In the morning, I pray and I meditate on that, and as well as finding myself where I am for future self. My future self is living in financial freedom. My future self has a business of its own. My future self is living in abundance, is carefree of money because money is coming to me and I know that. Like we spoke about before, changing your language, setting your intentions. There's power in the tongue, right? I'm trying to pay this off by the end of the year. Whereas before we talked about our financial freedom, the difference in the words make a difference in how you feel and what you're putting out there. So we saw some of the affirmations in the beginning. And so what I like to do is say, it is safe for me to experience financial freedom. Shantel, it is safe for you to experience financial freedom. And it is safe for Shantel to experience financial freedom. And I write each of those prompts out 3 times each. And that's something that has definitely saved me and showed up and showed out in my life. I've written down that I would have a director position and I would make X amount of money and I would be at a charter school. And here I am a year later, a director of enrollment at a charter school, making the amount of money that I put on paper. So these things really do manifest, right? And manifestation is a naturally occurring thing that happens for us. You can't rush it. You have to be patient. And so ways to do so is just by being in the faith of it all, practicing the way that you're supposed to practice and showing this patience, showing this gratitude, showing this point of discipline so that this abundance will come to you. Another thing that I like to do is light a green candle for money. So that is burning for 7 days. I set my intentions on it. I burn any type of blockages that I have with it, anything that's still coming up for me, any words that are coming up for me that are low vibrational, I burn it and I set intentions with this green candle to bring in money. Another thing is, we spoke about this before, and a lot of us learned this when we were talking with Dion, is the Florida water. And I like to keep this on me. I keep a little bit in my purse as well as the spray. So you can clear your space wherever you are. You don't have to be at your altar to do it. And this is just a cleansing and rubbing my hands in it in the morning and smelling it and feeling this freshness and opening myself up for abundance. One of my favorite things to do is to burn ancestral money. So talking to your ancestors, offering them up something, letting them know that you're here, you're talking to them, and it comes back to you. So I also have the resources in here as well, but burning a few ancestral dollars, right? And having that come back, thanking them for what they are doing, thanking them for being in your lives and for covering you, and offering that and saying that you want them to bring in more abundance in your life. I also have some money oil, that resources in the slide as well, rubbing my hands in it, rubbing it on me as well. So there's so many ways you can bring this to you and attract these this idea of abundance as well. Carrying certain crystals, your pyrite and your citrine, and then there's also the tiger's eye. These are all crystals of abundance. So you can put them in your bra, ladies, put them in your pocket, sit with them wherever you want, put them wherever you want, and remember to charge them. I like to charge them in the ground or sit them in the moonlight when there's a full moon, carry them with you. So these are all different ways that you can attract abundance, even if it's not just money, just abundance in general, to unblock yourself and to open yourselves up to the source of getting this reciprocity in the form of energy and money.
Chantel, I wanted to jump in and say something else about this. It ties into what I was speaking to Arusa or Angela about. Let's be mindful of what has us doing what we're doing. Because if your money mindset hasn't shifted, if your energy about worth and value hasn't shifted, you can burn the hell out of some ancestral money. You can put 50 crystals in your pockets and your bra, but it's not going to shift anything. This is a total transformation. And once again, the rituals are supplemental to cover you and keep moving it forward. But the work is an internal work. Spirit will always support us. But if we give mixed messages, if you have a lack mindset, but you're burning ancestral dollars because you're like, oh my God, this is like a strategy for me to manifest. It's like almost like opposing forces. So I just want to put that out there because I've seen it. I've done it myself in my younger years in spirit, like spiritual practice, that I was just like, I got to fix something. So let me do these 5 things and then a miracle is going to happen. So I just wanted to add that into the conversation.
Yeah, it's kind of like that magic pill, right? Where it's like, oh, I'll just take this pill and all my illness will go away and this and that will work. And that's not how it works. So it goes hand in hand with your behavior, like I said, with your mindset, writing out your affirmations to the point where you believe it. And maybe that starts with you writing out these affirmations and changing your mindset first in order to receive. And what really worked for me was Reiki healing, because money is energy and energy is money. You have to unleash these blockages that are in you, these mindsets that have been poured in and instilled into you. So once you can release those blockages, you can then receive. And like Shawnee said, you can burn all the candles and the sage you want, but what does it mean if you still go out the door and say, damn, all right, I got all these things to do today. I'm tired. I got no money to play with. And these damn bubbles, like it just doesn't make sense after a while, right? Listen, this is my purpose and I got bills to pay. So you need tutoring or not, like you can't go out there with this mindset. They go hand in hand. Thank you, Shawnee, for bringing that back up and showing that they complement each other. And I do want to share some of the resources with you all. Let's see. So this is some of the places that I get my tools from. The crystals usually I get from Soulful Vibes. Quartz and Rainbows is where I get the spray that I keep in my bag. People laugh at me. I say just spell it up so fast. And then the Magic Boutique is where I got the money oil and the ancestral dollars. Okay. If you want to start working on that, so you could take that down as well. But I do want to go back to how we are feeling and just see if anyone has any questions. Is anything not clear? Do you still need some advice on how you can start these practices on your own?
Could I add something?
Absolutely.
I really like what you said, Shawnee, because I like what both of you said, actually. I like what you said, Shantel, when you first started out with how you were able to transition from not having income coming in at all to creating 3 streams of income for yourself. And then I also like how Shawnee kind of gave us a balanced perspective about using tools that we have, like spiritual tools, in a way in combination with internal, using tools to internally transform, right? Last year, I didn't have a job either. Like in the summertime, I didn't have a job. And I was so afraid that I was waiting pretty much for work to pick back up. And I was afraid that I was going to deplete my funds, like my savings, to pay off all of my expenses for that month. And I was sitting at the altar, same thing that Shawnee said, like her younger years. And it's funny because I was at that altar and I had like a money, like like crystals and my ancestors, I just, whatever my ancestors tell me to do, that's how I did it right at that time. And like roses and stuff. And I was sitting there and a thought came to me, like, just write down on a piece of paper, all of my expenses are paid with ease. And I took that piece of paper and I just taped it on top of my mirror. and I stopped burning the candles. Like I wasn't even at my altar often. Every day when I woke up and I got dressed in front of that mirror, I would see the image. And so I would just say it, all of my expenses are paid with ease. Do you know that that worked tremendously, like beyond the things that I was doing before, like beyond the candles and I didn't burn ancestor money, but I did have money for my ancestors. But beyond that, I was able to change something inside of me. That's what I learned. I learned that by me actually reciting to myself in the mirror as I see myself get dressed and my image transforms in front of myself every morning, and me saying to myself, my expenses are paid with ease. Every day I got more confident in the saying. Like every day it became more of something that was concrete to me. And then I actually started putting in practices like naturally for my expenses to change. Like I was getting like emails to join these like wealth workshops, these free wealth workshops and stuff like that. Just simple things. And yeah, it was, the government just literally just dropped $1,500 in actually $2,800 in my account. And I never even, applied for the stimulus check. I never even applied for it, but it just dropped in my account. One day I went in my account and I was like, oh shoot, I got the money to pay, you know what I mean? Like my expenses. And I literally don't have to go into my, like my emergency fund at all.
Right.
So
took care of itself.
Yeah, it literally took care of itself. So yeah, thank you. I'm complete.
Thank you. Anyone else want to share anything? Or any questions about what we shared here today? So what are some things that we're leaving with?
This is Teresa.
Hey, Teresa.
I just feel so empowered today about this.
Good.
I have really been struggling a lot. And y'all just gave me so much life, and thank you. This is why I love getting up in the morning.
Good. What do you
so much healing take
What
place.
are you walking away with, Teresa? What are you going to start doing?
Because I have resources here in my home to make money for myself, and I have not been using them, and I just lost the desire to do anything, as far as financial for myself. I realized that I had a block, and I've been having a block for a while now, for the last couple of months, but I'm no longer blocked, and I'm walking in financial freedom, and money, my own natural energy is flowing in my life like never before, and so that's what I'm walking away. And I'm walking away with peace of mind.
Beautiful. And what around your house can you look at right now, point to and say, I'm going to start working on that. I'm going to get my, that's going to be your natural energy yield.
Well, I have jewelry and I have other stuff that I sell, and I haven't sold a thing. It's just in my house taking up space.
Gotcha. How are you going to sell it? What are you thinking of?
Well, I'm going to do a live today, and I'm going to go outside and show some stuff.
Awesome. All right. It's a beautiful day. Bring your water with you, okay? It's hot.
Thank you.
Amal, you have your hand raised.
Yes, ma'am. You know what? This conversation is wonderful. I have all those things on my altar. I guess the ancestral money is the I want to say play money, but it's the money or paper that has money imprinted on it. Is it? Okay.
Yeah, so it's like a replica of money. Yep.
That's replica. That's a good question.
And
yes,
it has
I have that. I have my Florida water.
Yes.
But the main thing and the oil too, the money oil, because I got all of that from Echelon from one of the past conversations, on Woo. But I have to admit, I have to say that what I've got more of is my faith in my creator. Because I remember, girl, listen, when I was raising my children, my back was up against the wall so many times. And every time, money came from places I didn't know where it was coming from. So now where I sit is that, okay, so it looks like by the, because I only get money, pension and then Social Security. And when money looks like it's a little dry, I don't know where it comes from, but I'm always able to make ends meet. And so now I don't even worry about it. I say, okay.
Exactly.
A little worry in there maybe, but you know what? It always comes. And I know that spirit is not leaving me. So like Shawnee was saying, is those other things is for me to feel, okay, well, I've got this going, so maybe that'll help. But my higher self knows that my supply comes from my creator.
Beautiful. And that's your mindset. And some people don't know that yet, right?
Exactly.
So thank you
Yes,
so
it
much
is
for
the
sharing.
mindset. Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. Veronica. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Hi.
I'm listening. I came on late and I was listening to the conversation and it was really rewarding and it gave me some messages because my eyes have been bothering me. I've had lower back pain and I vend and I haven't been going to vend. And so the lady that I paid to vend, she called me and she says, I really want you to come out on Sunday. She says, you could come for free. Just come on out. And I laid down in my bed and then Shawnee called. Shawnee texted me to come on. And I didn't feel like doing anything. Like I was trying to get ready to go to vend. And it was like one of those days. And it's been one of those 3 weeks, right?
One of those 3 weeks.
Yeah, because the lower back pain, the eye that's bothering me, just not feeling well, And I pushed and pushed and pushed. And my son packed up my tent and my stuff for me and I got in my car and then he came over to the place and he set up the tent and he had to leave. He left me there. And I sat there and I sold all my product.
Beautiful. Look at that.
I sold all my product. I sold things that I sold. I have a quilt that I've been taking out every week. And this elder lady came, she says, I really want that quilt on my bed. And there are people that tell me you're underselling yourself. And somebody came to me and said, well, how much are you selling that quilt for? And I said, oh, I'm going to give it to this lady for $300 today. I told her, I'm giving it to you for $300. She says, $300? I said, yeah. She says, I'm going to give you $150. And when I get the rest of the money, I'm going to send it to you and you'll bring me the quilt. She said, because I want this on my bed. And what the message I got at the time is that sometimes you got to be a blessing to somebody to be blessed.
Absolutely. Yes.
And so when I make these little tissue holders. And I put a set of tissues in them and they're only $5, but it's something that just moves, right?
Yeah.
And my spirit said, don't sell those tissue holders today. Give them away. And I gave away the tissue holders to people that came to the table. I said, can you figure out what this is?
Yes.
And they said, no, I don't know what this is. I said, well, guess. And they guessed and I handed them a tissue holder. And by 10 o'clock, because it was a night market, by 10:30 at night, I was sold out. And I was truly blessed.
Beautiful. And you blessed others as well.
Yes, because we have to be a blessing.
Yes, a vessel. Yes. People remind people that blessings do exist, right?
Yes. And I have to say to everybody that, they said that if you could make an extra $200 a day, you can make $100,000 in a year.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to do is, and there's some days that I don't make $200. Some days I make $200. But by the end of the month, like the end of the week, this week, I made $1,000.
Right. You made up for it.
I made up for it. And there were days that I sat at the market and I didn't sell anything. Or maybe I sell and I paid $75 to vend.
Right. Exactly.
But that's the price that we have to pay a price. It's the price that we pay to get what we need to get. And I just it's an investment. And I'm just giving thanks and I'm giving thanks and I'm giving thanks and I'm thanking God and I'm thanking Shawnee. Shawnee, I got something in the mail for you. And
thank you.
And God is good all the time.
All the time.
Yes.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And that's so inspirational. I also have a vending event on Saturday and I've been dreading it. Don't want to making up excuses. And that just shifted my whole perspective on why I need to go out and do what I do and share my gift. And thank you for sharing how your gifts have made room for you, right?
Thank you.
You
Thank
packed up
you.
all your stuff and then you saw the return, not only in money, but you saw just people who were excited and happy to get your gifts, get these
That's
things
right.
that you've made.
And I'll tell you, my eye did not hurt me on Sunday.
But
But on Monday morning, I was in so much pain. I went to the hospital and I have a scratch on my cornea.
But it didn't affect you that day.
But it didn't affect me that day. So it's the universe that's always working around us. Like, I got to accept that more and more, that it's the universe that's working for me, not against me.
Not against you at all.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that.
Thank you. Okay.
Amal, you have your hand up again? Or
yeah, you know what?
Okay.
Yes, no, I do, because you know, it occurred to me now that what I shared. I'm sorry, I put my hand back up. What I shared earlier was years ago, but something recent, and I'm just realizing how extraordinary it was. A friend and I decided we were going to go and stay a month in Ghana, and I thought I had saved up enough money to be able to carry myself through the month. And I did not realize that I hadn't until my friend said, well, we were going down to the casino, because they have a casino down at downtown Accra, or one of the hotels. So we went down there and I just started playing the slots. And because I don't usually do that. I don't gamble. But, I said, okay, I'll do a little. And I won $600.
Look at that.
Do you know that money carried me through the rest of my time in Ghana? And my friend ran out of money. She couldn't go anywhere. And I didn't realize that I had not saved up enough money.
Yes.
So this universe, I know the universe is looking out for me, because I have trust and know that whenever I need money, if I don't see it in my pocket, it's going to come from somewhere.
Absolutely.
So thank you. I'm finished.
Thank you for sharing. No, I think people need to hear these testimonies so that we could start building up this relationship, this spiritual relationship with money. So those of us who are just not there yet, we're still working on that. We can hear and understand that this really does work, right? There's a source, there's a higher being, whoever you pray to, whatever you believe in, that higher power can carry you if you decide on working on this mindset that you have and shifting the way that you live, the way you believe, and the way that you move throughout this world, right? Hey, Wendy. Good morning.
Just a minute. Oh, okay.
Yep, you're up.
Yeah. Okay. I'm muted. Yeah, I have been very successful in the past in manifesting money, but inconsistently, because I was doing it, but I am not sure what I was doing right. I say the affirmations, and I wondered, why is it that sometimes I manifest money so, quickly, and there are times when nothing happens. So this session today helped me kind of put things in perspective, and I realized that it's the emotional energy that I put into the times when I did manifest, but I was just doing it like without guidance or without prior knowledge. I was just saying the affirmations and it would happen. So I realize now that the intention, is one, and the emotional energy that you put into the whole exercise of manifesting is what made the difference in the times I did and didn't. So thank you for this session.
I'm glad you were able to see that this time around, right? And like Shawnee said, what we said was, you can't go into this thinking like this is all going to be changed because I burned some money or saved something, or I wrote my affirmations 5 times this week. Why am I not getting a raise? Right?
Yes.
So it goes with that intention, and the overall theme is faith. It really is faith, and having faith in the process, showing that you have faith. Absolutely. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Awesome. We're going to take one more share, and we're probably on here for about another 5-10 minutes. So if you could hold out with us, I see we still have a few people on here. So thank you for sticking out with us. This is 32. We had 34. All right, not bad. Catherine, Sweetness.
Sweetness, Grand Rising, everyone. And the question was, what am I taking away from the compensation?
Yes.
Well, one of the things is that Shawnee pays, so I'll have to call her. And then another thing,
don't take food off my plate.
oh no, you know what? what I'll do is I'll first thank you, Shantel,
Thank you.
because there is enough on this plate for everybody. That is true.
Yes.
And you know that, and I know
Yes.
that. So,
Yes.
but yeah, Shawnee pays. I need to call Shawnee. And then, the other thing I'm taking away from this conversation, the necessary conversation for me this morning, is that I can be when I believe I can.
Absolutely.
So, also, I want to say to the group this morning, that I've been putting my health first. My health is a priority, right? So, you guys can't see me because I neglected to put on clothes. So I don't think it would be good for me to be on camera. Okay.
But your camera is on, so you want to turn it off again? We can see
Well, no,
paper.
I didn't. No, it's okay.
Okay.
As long as you don't see my naked body.
You're good.
I don't look like Tracy, nor do I need to, but you don't need to see my naked body this morning. So what I want to say is that I have been putting my health first. I never did worry about money. I'm 60 years old and I never did. I wasn't taught to, and I just didn't do it. So now I'm living alone. My husband just passed March 18th. So, now I gotta come to terms with, like, okay, I keep looking over in the corner where he used to be laying in the bed, like, and he is not there, like, and he's not fixing things. He used to fix everything. And so this morning, I am so empowered by the conversation. I'm excited about accepting that I can do it, and I will have to do it because it's me. And when you ask somebody to look around their space and see, what can generate or what can be different, is that there's clutter here that is holding me, right? And so I have to work on the clutter, because the clutter is connected to my mind, my thinking, my body, my health. So that's what I take away. Today, I take away my strength, my power that is within me, and it's gonna be manifested because I'm gonna take those things from on top of the refrigerator that have been sitting there for years, and I'm gonna declutter, and I'm gonna produce, and I'm gonna continue to give. I'm a giver. I'm comfortable with giving. I do that effortlessly, and it brings me joy. So that is what I'm taking away today.
Beautiful. And thank you for those tears of libation. That's just refreshing to hear all of the things that you were going to start working on. And I want you to know that clutter, it blocks abundance as well. People don't realize that your home, right? That can be blocking what's supposed to come through, the energy that you were supposed to be receiving. So I want you to leave thinking, who can you ask to help you with that clutter? Who do you trust that can come in and help you to clean out and declutter your space so that energy and abundance can flow throughout your house, flow throughout your spirit and your mind, your body, and your overall well-being?
Shantel, trust me. Anybody who knock on that door can come in. Yeah, there is no shame connected to me, to myself. Shame and guilt. That's two things that's not connected to sweetness. So anybody who knocks on that door, they can come in, and I have invited people. And then again, I'm so used to, and this is what I recognize because I've been going inside, is that my spouse, he was just I'm not gonna say he was a crutch. That was just his way of being with me, helping me. And so this is something that I'm working on, and I'm willing to do as much as I can for myself. One of my mottos is never allow someone else to do more for me than I'm willing to do for myself. That is one of my mottos. And so, yes. Anybody should come, whoever want to come over.
Yes, you have somebody. You have Denise West is already offering to help you. So
awesome.
tap into your community.
Yep, I offer that.
We could have a cleanup day. Like, how do we get this? How do we help you come back from this? Right? How do we help you declutter? You have people who are in the community who are open to helping you. So tap into that. Yes. Right. And don't be inviting anybody. Yes. And people are asking where you're located and all that. So maybe you want a private chat, Sweetness, and see how you can get over there and help her out, set a date and a time. You can make it a little get together, right? It could be fun and just watching the things go out the door, fly out the door. This is old stuff. I need to make room for my new stuff, right? I need to make room for this new version of me. My husband is no longer with me, but he's here with me in spirit to help me clean out and start new. This is a new life for you now that he is no longer there. So you can't return to the old ways of being or the old ways of how your home looked. This is your time to make it your own, you know, and put the things in there that you want and move things around the way that you want. He's not there to say, I don't want this to go there or there. This is your space now. So own that and recreate that. Have fun with it.
Thank you for today, Shantel.
Thank you. Awesome. All right. Shawnee, did you have something to say?
Yeah, I'm like, I know we're already at this time, and Kim has to jump in with the raffle, so she can do that, and I'll say what I was going to say to Jackie and to Sweetness after she's done.
Okay, sure. So our winner today is Terry Ruffin. Terry Ruffin, do you accept? That's an acceptance.
She doesn't know what the offer is. You gotta put it.
Oh, right. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm looking at the offer. I'm like, yeah.
She's got it. So similar to what we did today, something that I do on a monthly basis with a lot of people in the WOO community are aware of is the cord cutting session. So we're cutting off anything that no longer serves us, whether it's a state of mind, it's a person, a place, a job, anything. You could cut yourself off from that energy. We're doing a lot of energy work. It has a lot to do with not only our money, but just our overall being. So similar to what we did here, if you want to cut off those blockages that you have with your finances in general, a person, place, or thing, join us for the next cord cutting session. That will be July 23rd and then July 24th if you can't make the first one. So you can register at bit.ly, be bravehearted, and you can register that way. It's $25. And then Terry, you will be joining us for free if you would like to take this offer this morning. Terry, you with us?
I believe she went to work.
Oh, okay.
All right, she was there 5 minutes ago. Okay,
all right, do you want to do it again?
Yep. No, but yes.
Just scroll through and land wherever your finger lands, the cursor lands, that's the person.
Teresa Scott.
Teresa, look at that. Hey, Teresa.
Yes.
Open to receiving this.
Yes.
All right, so I will follow up with you for next steps to see which date and time works for you. Glad to have you in the session with us, the session with us. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Shawnee, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I'll say this really quickly. I know Teresa put in the chat, Jackie put in the chat, and then Sweetness was talking about the relationship with clutter, and then others I'm sure in the space have that. I have my own clutter story because I keep books, papers, like my college papers. Like, what the hell? What you gonna do with that? But just in case I might need it.
Just in case.
They're gonna put it in the Smithsonian when I die. So I'm like, yo, Jackie was like, oh, my husband is a clutter person. I don't know if Sweetness said it was associated with her husband that transitioned too. No. But I'm like, sometimes you're a clutter person by proxy.
Yes.
Like you're in a relationship and connected to someone who hoards and clutters. You up in there inching around the boxes and stuff. You're part of it. Like you're like he or she is the clutter. I'm like, no, you are a clutterer or whatever the word is by proxy. You're co-creating that dynamic and you attracted that energy to you. So it's like you can't be like, oh, he need to get it together. Boo. That's y'all's energy, you know. Oh, I can't hear you, Jackie. You're muted.
I'm trying. My daughter even said, listen, I'm coming up there and I'm going to take that house apart. You had feng shui this area, mommy. This is too much. I can't take it. And I throw stuff out. And then I come back the next day and it's back. It's like, how did it get back? So it's like, it's a struggle. And I know that part of it is my stuff too.
Yeah.
But I'm working on that. And I like you, I have all my books and papers from college and this and that. And I keep saying I'm gonna need that one day. And I really don't. So the closets are my clutter. The basement and everything else is his. And I'm gonna start working on that because it's probably blocking something.
And I would say stop separating out his clutter, your clutter. It's y'all's clutter. And it's probably energy around the relationship. And I'm just gonna put this out there that him putting it back is like a fuck you. Seriously, like it's y'all's relationship. It's like you keep cleaning it, he keeps adding. It's like F. He may not verbally be saying F you, but he's energetically saying F you. So it's just like, oh, she cleaned that up. And he may not be conscious of it. It's like, you know, some people like they get mad, like you move their stuff and it's like the blow up around it. There's some emotional stuff there.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that because it's that way with money too. And I'll dig us out, dig us back in. Dig us back in. And so now I'm this funny person. Like I have a particular spoon. I don't want nobody to touch it. He keeps touching it.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
because my dad was like that. You try to take it, and he'll go through the bags that you put together to throw out. Like, why is this in here? This and that. It's like the show the hoarders when they just can't. Even if you take the initiative, they will not let that trash go out the door before they look through it or have something to say. So that's also the hard part too.
Yeah, and it's so important, like just with addiction of any kind, because it's like an addictive energy, that it's a family addiction too. It's a family dynamic, and people are like that person with the issue, but y'all all play a part. The enablers, just that's a whole session in itself. So I just wanted to put that out there for the hoarders in the space. And even with Teresa, if you live alone and folks come in and out, they are participants in that dynamic. When they live with you and then they leave out and then they're upset and they're judged, like all of it is a dance. And if you don't address the energy around it, then y'all just going to keep doing it.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for your shares. We went so many different places. And
thank you, Shawnee. I'm sorry. I have a whole bunch of people's stuff in my house, and you are so right. It is sad.
Other people's stuff in there?
Yes. Yes, other people's stuff for years.
You are not a storage unit.
Yes.
Charge them money, abundance.
I don't even know what some people's at. No, I just need to get it out of my house. That's all.
So we have a few people who are on declutter lists, and we could go around and make our rounds and help people declutter their homes.
That's a great idea.
Seriously, yes, that's the way we can help each other. But thank you all again for joining us this morning. Thank you for the contributions, the many different avenues that we've gone down. It just shows that money is not just paper, right? Money is spirit, money is energy, money is a contribution. Money is an avenue to our quality of life, and we all have the right to obtain it, to tap into that. So I hope that you all can leave here today, like we said earlier, what can you look around at your house and say, I can start monetizing off of this. I can tap into this to bring more abundance and flow of money into my life. How can I start changing my mindset? What affirmations work for me? And think of just the different rituals that I threw out there. How can you start incorporating some of that into your life on a daily basis? All right, Kinyofu, you want to take us away?
This is your share, your contact.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Sorry, let me expand it. Gotcha. All right, so please keep in touch, everyone. I know some people had questions. Please take down my Instagram is at Braveheart Coaching. Email is coachshan@bravehearthealth.org. And then the website is www.bravehearthealth.co. And that's where you can go to sign up for the cord cutting classes that we're going to have coming up. Next. All right. And so today we talked about my own natural energy yield. So I'm unapologetically asking you all to shower me with my energy yield in the form of love offerings and money. And since we're talking about energy, I would love for it to come from a place of love and not obligation or anything like that. From your heart, the reciprocity for my gifts coming on to you, sharing those gifts with you all. Would love, love, love to receive some love offerings. Next. And tomorrow, join us again. We have Haru, who is doing non-attachment, Sana Yazin, and we are also going to have our girl Mika back with us for some more truth tea. What is your purpose and how to bring conscious awareness to your purpose? So how are we having we're going to have some truth tea on purpose with purpose. Next.
Okay, thank you, Shantel. And I want to take this moment to welcome any new members that are in the space or in Facebook, and whatever that new means. If you feel, oh, I've never done this before, this is your new. So drop it in the chat and welcome. And yes, keep coming back. Don't forget us. We're here 5 days a week from Sunday, or I should say Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 7 to 8:30 in the morning, and Monday and Wednesday from 7 to 7:30, here meaning Zoom and Facebook. And now we have a text process. Some of you might be familiar with it, but we just launched it. It is basically you're going to text Woo Nation to 74121. So what does that mean? You go to your text, and in the 2, instead of putting in a name, you will put in the number. And this is not a telephone number, but it's a code number. 74121 goes there. And in the text box where you would type in normally, hey, how you doing, or whatever, you will type in the word or the phrase Woo Nation. So you can go ahead and do that now, and you will begin to receive automated messages letting you know all that you need to know to get on to Wake Up Everybody. And here is the slide where you can find out how to get your swag, bit.ly/Woo Swag. If you don't have it already, you go there, and then you can choose from the sweatshirt, the t-shirt, the cup, or the mask. And there'll be other things loaded soon. We ask that you stay in touch, registering at bit.ly/Wake Up Movement. This will have you get the emails that you need to get. You want to do this every week. You'll also get the Zoom link. We have a Facebook page. So the Facebook group page, you need to request access for, and that is bit.ly/Woo Community. And somebody will accept you, and then you'll be able to see the playbacks and the conversations that happen, and you can join in. We have an Instagram and a YouTube that you can check us out on, and we also have an email that we make available for you if you have any questions or comments. info.wakeupseries@gmail.com. So I'm going to take this down, and I'm going to have everybody unmute themselves so that we can give Shantel the love shower. So Shantel.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Good
Thank you
job.
so much,
Thank you.
Coach. Much appreciated so
So
much.
much more out of this than money.
It was much needed so much. And I felt the
Absolutely.
ancestral bugs really rock.
Thank
So
you.
much.
Noel,
I felt
thank you,
that.
Shawnee, for always giving us
Limited.
Hey,
Thank you
Wendy.
very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So much,
Woo,
Coach.
thank
You are
you
the
so
bomb.
much.
God bless
Thank you
you.
so much, Shawnee.
Keep consistent.
You are the goddess.
I'm on my way to
Thank you.
wealth.
Thank you,
Fulfill
EJ.
my purpose.
Hey, Coach
I'm
Jermaine.
expecting some money.
Hi.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
so
guys.
much.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much, Coach
Yes.
Chantel.
So much.
Great day, you guys.
Cheers.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Okay.
Money, don't forget to give, family.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. All right.
Love y'all.
Love y'all.